Abs too.
Oh, nice.
All right, and we should be live now.
This time with technical difficulties.
Because I have to recreate goddamn everything.
Okay. Well, first,
Actually, the way it's lined up, it's almost like the dogs on my TV back there.
Yes! I'm just saying, like, yes, we are finally live, finally after 2 weeks, and like, yeah, going live now. So it's like, it's
What sort of M&Ms are those?
The chocolate ones.
With nuts.
Peanut.
Oh, okay, just peanut ones. The chocolate ones. Is there another kind of M&Ms that doesn't have chocolate?
Well, there's Reese's Pieces, which aren't M&Ms.
Yeah.
They have chocolate, so.
And I think Reese's Pieces also have chocolate, don't they?
They do, but they're mostly peanut butter.
I can say that they would be mostly peanut butter, but there's also peanut butter and ends too.
Reese's Pieces is so much better than peanut butter M&Ms, and I don't know why.
Because it's
it's like a better peanut butter. I don't.
It's the sugar. They mix it together, and it's sugar. It's basically a tiny piece of pie.
Yeah.
Good morning, SJA. Tabby, are you doing a Robin Williams impersonation with "Good Morning Vietnam"?
Oh my goodness! So, what do you call it? We did our Thanksgiving yesterday, and me and my brother and my sister just spent like 20 minutes just roasting my mom because
That's how
we
you
had
get
like
her
talked
Tinder
about
so that you can carve her up easy for dinner.
we had like talked about what everyone was bringing, and both my sister and my sister-in-law like talked about how they were going to make dessert, and apparently like she went to my brother and was like, "Oh, is it okay if I bring a couple of pies?" I was like, "What kind of flavors?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess chocolate and pumpkin." And she brought 5 of each.
5 pumpkin pies and 5 chocolate pies. For how many?
Mom!
Like 1 for each or 2 for each?
Okay, mind you, my sister has 2 kids and my brother has 4 because he had triplets after the first one. So there's a decent enough amount of small children that it still is under a pie per person. But mind you, most of these persons are 4 or under.
The white crone that like said, okay, I can eat one by myself, and like, welcome in everyone. Hello Tavi, hello Riffle. Yes, we're finally on air. It's like we can like we can explain. It's like as you can see, John Brockman has like fixed everything because like funny enough, OBS updated, and then so now
it just deleted all the stuff.
it deleted all the stuff. So John Brockman has to like create everything on the fly as we're going live. So it's
have to find a way to make this fucking thing legible.
Yeah, exactly. No, that doesn't have a self-promote channel. What first happened like 2 weeks ago, I was actually at Kamuricon, and I just like was like waiting for the link, and I guess it was way too early, honestly, to call it because it was like, but then again, how like you were, maybe it was too early, but probably fine to call it. I didn't hear anything back from John Brockman.
I was stuck in traffic.
Yes, because of the cops, and so I kind of like decided to call it like 4 minutes before the show. This like let's just cancel it. And then like 14 minutes past 11, the Zoom link showed up in the Facebook Messenger group, and it's just like I'm back at the Kamuricon. I have to go back to find that quiet spot in the Kamuricon in order to like join in and something like that. But no one else showed up because I already told the world that like yeah we're canceling, and so. That's pretty much it. It's like, yeah, the cops forced like John Brockman to be like really late 2 weeks ago. But then last week, John Brockman was really, really, really sick. And so, yeah, I have to cancel last
Stomach
week,
flu.
too.
Pops and John.
Yep, the cops affected John Brockman's ability to come here.
Oh,
last
just a stomach flu. I was going to say
Mm.
if it was swine flu, I would have blamed the cops on that one too.
Fuck is going on with this?
Okay, I think I messed up. Yep, I controlled C when there's absolutely nothing highlighted, as it were. So every time I control V, I would just paste something blank. So yeah, so control V now and control V now. They're in two different places. I don't know why. Yes. So welcome in everyone. Welcome to the makeup Patreon show of Such Justice Alchemy. And so we will thank our patrons, Stack Noise, the Fuck Boys, Von Rack, Tim, my Taka teacher, Flora, and Marty, and Joe and Ellie. And I think there's one other I forgot because I got their news one Stat Noise.
Stat Noise, Mylan,
No, Flora, not Mylan.
Flora, Marty,
Marty,
Tim,
I did.
Von Rek,
Tim. And the fuck boys. I think that's everyone. So and then Joe and Ellie, thank you for joining us again. And always happy to have you. How you both been?
I've been absolutely fine. I went to a Christmas party last night with a bunch of LGBT people.
Ah, yes.
So that was really fun, and one of them was a dance teacher who said I had rhythm, so that was surprising.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to an LGBTQ bar next Friday, actually.
Nice.
I'm bringing pepper spray, so...
Yeah. I mean,
you're that aggressive. Don't play into the stereotype.
No.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not for them.
Nope. If we can just quickly touch on the terrible tragedy that happened in Colorado, the drag show, as a word that a gunman opened fire and 5 people shot and killed, and several others were injured, and which it could have been a lot worse if it weren't for other patrons at the drag show decided to beat the fuck out of that shooter too, which shows that that's how you stop.
Yep.
You don't need a good guy with a gun. You need a good guy with a big stiletto heel.
I'm starting to believe that people like that just start arming themselves because I don't see this problem getting any better.
Yeah.
No, it won't. It's going to get worse because capitalism is in decay and fascists are going to blame everyone but themselves.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, which is, I mean, again, the Thuglicans, their only platform is the culture war. They don't have any other platform other than their business of cutting taxes. And if you can't win people over based on just that, then yeah, you're going to just find something else to it always was a scapegoat, as it were. There were people that delivered did have those bigotries, but it was always a scapegoat. So how are you doing, Mithra? How is everyone doing in the chat? And hello, Tabby. Tabby won't be joining us into the Zoom call because tired as all. And I did show up on Thursday. I was supposed to do Saturday before, but 2 minutes before airtime, my internet died and I couldn't get back on for 45 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
That's rough.
Last Sunday, when I was planning to stream, but I had no internet. So I didn't have internet for a while, but before I went on air, it's just checking something. It's just I was about to paste the going live tweet to Twitter, and I was wanting to search for a GIF. Then I got the buffering thing for searching for a GIF. Okay. I'll just reopen Twitter and check for it again. Reopening Twitter, buffering as it were. Oh, OBS disconnected. Huh? What? And it's and I check and I go to my taskbar. Oh, I have no internet. Okay. Well, I'm not going live now. All right, restart the router. Wait for it. Still not getting the internet. I'll play some games that I have on my hard drive that I don't have to use the internet to connect to, and as it were, and still have internet. What in the Edge, default browser, I think, as it were, pop up or just what's this web page doing here? Is sign in with Xfinity.
Oh,
That was it. And I also checked my phone and my tablet, who always connected to Wi-Fi too. Whenever, and they were not connected to Wi-Fi at all. I can do things on them because they're on the mobile data of like T-Mobile now. But like no, they could not even find the router. I know what the router's name is. I give it the password. And I could not find it at all. And so eventually I just like not streaming, play games off the hard drive that I can, just spend the whole day like that. And then finally, when we went to like go watch anime with my brothers at the dinner, the smart TV, the Fire TV, also had this like we're trying to watch anime. We were able because like we can watch anime without logging online. We have the DVD. Put the DVD in PS4, set it all up. But then the Fire TV overlay, like OS, comes up with a website with the browser coming up of sign in with Xfinity.
oh.
We had to like log into with Xfinity in order for the router to finally be recognized by all of our online devices.
Oof.
Yes, I didn't say anything to my brothers. They apparently were just like playing Stardew Valley without needing to connect to Steam, as it were, and so like no one noticed until we could not watch anime without a pop up coming up on our Fire TV, our smart TV, saying "sign in with Xfinity," and then we could connect with the router. What the fuck, Xfinity? The only best source of like broadband internet in like what the Seattle area, Washington State area, and yet you do shit like that. But yeah,
What do you call it? I found a fun game that you might want to try for your for streaming. Hardpoint Shipbreaker. It has a fun pro-union message, and one of the missions is even an industrial action.
nice. Oh, look
And
at
also,
that.
it's just genuinely a fun game.
Okay.
You should also do Disco Elysium.
I
Yeah.
should do Disco
Yeah.
Elysium, yeah. Yes, but I now they realized the problem with my streaming because like even when I was streaming like a game like Stardew Valley or something like that, I was noticing like a tiny bit of like lag as it were. So then I finally played Skyrim, not streaming, off stream as it were. And it's like, my God, this game is running so much smoother than when I'm not streaming it as it were. So I'm thinking there's probably a setting in like OBS or something like that that I gotta like readjust so that I can like when I'm streaming, I still can play the game in a way that's enjoyable with me and not lagging the hell. Because like it seems like either I like the stream will lag, but the game runs smooth, or the stream is running smoothing, but the game lags. So it's just like I have to figure out that setting because I finally figured it out. Or play just like pixelated games or retro games as it were. But no, I'll check out like a hard space shipbreaker. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, yes, Ellie was at the Christmas dinner last night. Was at LGB concert. Joe, what have you been up to?
Well, I did two Thanksgivings this year because my roommates did a Thanksgiving thing before I had to work on Thanksgiving, and then we did our family Thanksgiving yesterday. That was fun. Otherwise, a lot of fun games have come out recently, so I've been playing a bunch of that. I spent the better part of my week watching Desert Bus for Hope stuff, and actually won one of the drawings, which was good.
Nice.
For a backpack.
Nice. A practical gift.
Yeah, indeed. I what do you call it? I finally printed out or PDF'd my receipt from that, and from just fun donating to get my name on the chat, and what do you call it? And bidding for giveaways, I donated $1,000 over the week.
Nice. That's cool. Isaiah, you celebrate your birthday.
Yeah. Well, so I went.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older.
I had a friendsgiving with some friends on Thanksgiving. Then I went to another Thanksgiving dinner with some other friends. Then I went and did some Black Friday shopping, and I watched
Being at a mall on Black Friday would be an excellent time for people watching. Brass for sure.
You see all the dumb, especially like sometimes at like the kiosks, they would be like these like hip hop guys that sell all these like stupid like sweaters. One said hustle or broke.
Mighty both.
And I'm like, I'd rather just be broke. I don't know. I ain't gonna fucking I ain't gonna fucking stress myself to get a few dollars, and nah. I'd rather just enjoy my life, just being whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, there was another one that said God is dope.
I like the corollary to that.
Yeah, God's on drugs.
God is drugs.
Wait. So if I'm like stoned off my ass and I saw that shirt and it said God is dope, I was like, wait, God's drugs?
Did I just smoke God? No wonder.
Well, I know they say that God is inside me, but dope is inside me.
It didn't took that long before we went into this like a weird, obscure, like a sexual thing. But at least it's not a lewd one, as it were. But there we go. That's the title of like a future social justice Alchemy, which I have to remember. God
dope
is
dope. Inside me.
Yeah, dope. That too. Dope is inside me.
And in Dillard's, there was like a do you want to know really what I actually saw that was fun?
What?
I saw there was a picture, there was an actual version of the Heart of the Ocean. That was the thing from Titanic, the movie Titanic. In the mall where I was, that was $250. But funny enough, across the way, there was a GameStop where there was an Xbox that was $500. So it's like this amazing diamond is worth what, $250, but the fucking Xbox is $500.
Yep. I'm guessing Dillard wasn't selling a diamond that big for $250.
No, this was actually a real jeweler actually that did this.
Let's see. Hey, well, the thing is, like, it's because the chips and the chip shortage is so much that like an Xbox is worth 500, twice as much as a diamond.
No, it's just that they had to pay for the intellectual property rights. It's not an actual diamond; it's just glass that happens to look fancy.
I mean, well, and that's the thing about that shit, that when people complain about we shouldn't give all the countries that England stole the diamonds from, we shouldn't give that all back. I'm like, no, we should, because now we can make all that stuff synthetically at this point, and you wouldn't even be able to tell the goddamn difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, well, yeah. They can make diamonds. The only thing that they can tell the difference between just like natural diamonds or diamonds out of the ground as opposed to synthetic diamonds is that like the synthetic diamonds are like yellow as well. But I'm sure they can easily change that to where it's like they can change the coloring of that bed as well. And most importantly, Ellie has a cat in his lap.
Yeah.
Oh,
a tuxedo one too.
What's the kitty's name?
Luna. This is Luna.
Nice.
Nah.
Please stop going on about the bloody Titanic. I don't bloody care. Yeah.
What about Titanic?
No, Metro's just reacting in the live chat, and I'm just like reciting. I'm sure it's just injustice work.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, just people watching, and everyone in line to buy shit that they can't afford.
Which is why the credit cards were all invented, because when wages started to stagnate in the 70s. Oh, you got Daria! Is that the complete series?
Yes.
I had a fun
on my birthday.
I need to rewatch that. I need to finish watching that, I should say.
We played a table topics game. Isn't really the right term, but essentially it was just a bunch of cards with conversation prompts, and one of the questions is when is it morally right to steal? And I just started listing off a bunch of fun examples, and one of them
One
is
always, two Tuesday.
it's definitely always moral to steal from the British Museum.
My question is, explain moral, because
Yeah, that's a good question.
what's moral?
There's such a thing as like moral luck. It's like it's luckier for some people to be able to be moral about their things and have the privilege to do that, while it's just like others are in more unfortunate positions and so have to like result in like stealing as it were, or finding as it were, or of course as we say squatting. For like a shelter and that sort of thing too. So as like Aaron Benowitz says on like Embrace the Void, it's more luck all the way down.
And I did share a picture of the Le Code de la Mer, or the heart of the
Carol de la Mer.
Air de la Mer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. Isaiah showed that's a photo of this like this was the $250 diamond that the jeweler has.
No, that's a $250 piece of glass. It's a pretty sparkly piece of glass.
Yeah,
It's
and it's
pretty
as
glass.
worthwhile as an actual diamond that size would be.
well, like
it's also blue.
Like I said, so give all the diamonds back to the countries you stole them from, remake them out of glass, and you couldn't tell the difference. So take that, Pierce Morgan.
Until you dropped them and they broke.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Well,
Because
then don't drop it.
The only thing you should drop is the base. And the rich down a well.
Wasn't there someone who stole the British crown, the actual crown, and then they had to flatten it to hide it under his clothes?
I don't
hope so.
remember that, but I hope that's what happened because that's how I feel about the British Crown. I'm sure that's how Mesler feels about the British Crown too.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, speaking of
Flattened
stealing,
like a white person's ass.
or shoplifting, there's like a hick sheriff down here in Florida who basically told people. So when Hurricane Ian hit the place, we had a really bad and guys. So in a couple years, you don't have to worry about Florida fucking everything up because it's not going to be around. So that
It's going to turn blue soon enough. It'll be
That is dark. Oh.
No, but this sheriff basically he's like a cowboy, but he couldn't get a cowboy job at a movie, so he's now a sheriff, and he's this white, big, fat, old white guy with glasses, a cracker.
Yeah.
Roy Moore. Cowboys were actually black.
Well,
They
I
were called boys.
didn't want to.
Oh yeah,
That makes a lot of sense.
I didn't want to offend people by saying the C word. But yeah, he basically told like citizens to basically turn looters into grated cheese. Now of course this guy is so stupid. Guns.
Grated cheese is just little strips.
Right.
Yeah.
You meant Swiss.
He meant Swiss cheese.
Well, this guy is so stupid. He doesn't even know what the fuck to tell people how to murder.
All he knows about cheese is that it looks like plastic and it's orangey yellow.
Right.
and it's made out of oil. Like the
Comes from Wisconsin and it comes in a can.
Wisconsin.
Yes, again the
Eating
movie.
that kind of cheese.
Repeat that, Ellie. We didn't hear what you said.
The American fake cheese. Can you even grate that on a grater?
I mean, if it came in a block, yes. The problem
Yeah.
is that it comes the way they roll it out and press it. If you just have this sliced cheese, you couldn't.
Yeah.
But
No, you.
I mean, it's just cheddar cheese. There's nothing really bad about it. It
Hey,
just looks weird.
Ellie, and supermarkets in Europe, is the cheese wrapped in individual slices? Is that a thing over there?
You can get that, but no one buys it because
It's
it's
American.
like, why would you buy it when you can get cheese that actually tastes good?
Because Americans are stupid.
Well, remember, we
But
also
sliced
have like
cheese is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
also we also
The sliced cheese can go on my sliced bread.
this.
Yeah.
Also, we have like in bags shredded and grated cheese, pre-shredded, pre-grated, so you don't have to do that step. This where we take one step out of the equation for people to be able to cook. America,
Yeah.
USA, I should say.
Oh, Ellie,
Well, when I'm making my breakfast burritos, I want that pre-shredded cheese. It's just
Yeah, that's
stuff I
true.
don't
Breakfast is hard to motivate yourself enough to make to begin with. The idea of shredding my cheese or grating my cheese to make breakfast is a step too far.
Well, Ellie, we also, I don't know, it's weird whenever people look at Americans. It's just, I'm disappointed sometimes as an American. I'm like, it's kind of like people just laugh at us behind our backs, but we
No,
also
they laugh.
No,
to
they
our
laugh
faces.
us to our face.
They
See, the
just do it
polite
in
one-
a clever way that we don't pick up on.
Parce
The
qu'il
polite
parle
one-
des autres langues.
The polite ones do it behind our backs. Well, like the impolite ones don't fucking care. It's just like, oh, you're from the USA? Ha!
Sucks to be you.
Well, if I go around the world, then it's like, yes, I'm from the USA. I definitely apologize for the USA just like spreading this homogeneously all around the world and neoliberalism.
Well, I would go to another country just to say I know the capital of the country, just to prove I'm an idiot.
Yeah. The cheese for breakfast? What sort of monsters are you? USA monsters, Mithril. That's the kind of monsters we are.
We're continental. Not the U.S., but continental.
So
Because we know if we have beans for breakfast, we're gonna fart all day.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so cheese for breakfast does the same thing.
Yeah, I just don't eat breakfast, honestly. Well, technically, I do as the first meal of the day is breakfast because you're breaking your fasting. But that can be like at noon.
So here's another. So here's more for our capitalist masters to enslave us with. This is why I was saying it says hustle or be broke, and I'm like, if you're
You're probably both.
and I'm like if you're already hustling, you already are broke because you're trying to get more money, so you're already broke anyway. You're just trying to be less broke.
Well, the only reason for me to try to be like less broke is that like so whatever money I have above being broke, I will give to my friends in need and stuff like that. Speaking of which, Joanna Roberts like still can use like help with like money for like pills and food and stuff like that. So I'll place her links into the live chat right now, and we'll also post Phoenix's links in chat right now as well. As always, because they always need money. Only any extra money you have that you can like
Unless you're
afford to
geek,
give-
in which case, go ahead and get yourself $50,000 in credit card debt.
no
Yeah.
$23,000 of credit card debt.
Feel bad.
Well, I mean,
How are
if you're
those student
paying
loans working out for you, geek?
What student loans?
The ones you voluntarily took on to help other people.
No, I don't have any student loans.
No, I'm saying the $23,000 is effectively
Oh
student
yeah,
loans.
I thought student loans would be like $100,000 or $70,000.
it depends on what
That's what it
school
is.
you go to, but yeah.
Well, I only applied to junior college as well, community college, I should say.
That's sweet. Very sweet, but she's on a diet, and there's a dirty plate next to the computer that she wants to get to because she wants to lick it.
She disagrees with your diet plan.
Yeah. But it was the vet who she went to the vet a couple of months ago, and she was like 7 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds, but
It's about 15, 16 pounds. Pretty heavy.
yeah, and that is quite a lot. So
It's kind of hefty for a cat.
yeah, so and it's also a concern because it's hard to carry her in her carrier without being disabled, and with being disabled is almost impossible when she's that heavy.
Metro's threatening us. He's going to invade into the USA with Myth Daughter in the next May for a month, and we'll attempt to bring good cheese over.
Okay, the only cheese you have there is cheddar. We already have that.
I'll say there is good cheese here. It's just not the type that most Americans eat.
Yeah.
You know,
like you have to go out of your way to get good cheese, but it does exist here.
You have to go to the side of the store where you have to ask the people to make the food for you.
The deli.
The deli.
You know what my favorite British song is?
What?
Favorite song?
Western Girls by Pet Shop Boys.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Change the topic. Unfortunately, no, I don't have it. We probably do all have a block of cheddar in the refrigerator, but if it's not cheddar, it probably should Kobe Jack. But anyway,
not much call for it around here, sir.
Isaiah, I remember that in your question to SJA on Friday.
Yes.
Again, going back to the terrible tragedy that happened in Colorado, as where you don't know what grooming is, as it were.
No, I don't. So can someone explain to me what the hell that is?
You develop a relationship with a child in order to manipulate them into a sexual rape relationship.
It can also happen to adults. You can also be groomed.
True. Any sort of predatory relationship can end up that way.
But how is that really groomed?
Because instead of just attacking them, you develop the relationship over time.
But
sort of like how you grow out a haircut.
But then you can say that about parents then.
Except that parents don't have sex with their
Well, I'll say
most of the time.
In the most technical definition, anything you do to prepare somebody for something is technically grooming.
I mean,
however, in the context that they are calling LGBTQ people grooming is the context of sexual grooming.
But
the Secretary of the Treasury might be grooming his replacement. That's a thing people will say.
Okay, all right. But then it's like, so could parent? I don't, because anyone who tells something about something to get them to do something, that could be no matter who it is. I don't know why
you're preparing someone to accept a role.
All they're doing is just reading stories to kids. That's
that's not actually grooming.
Yeah.
They're bigots and liars when they call them groomers.
Well, I mean, and
what
do you call it?
Phrases that doesn't they stop meaning anything after a certain while because they misuse them.
Yeah, that's what fascists do. They turn language into meaningless noise.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, social media could be grooming kids. I mean, for goodness sake, no one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is definitely happening on social media.
Yeah, and priests could also be grooming.
Yes.
So, and not only sexually. I also mean sort of.
Yeah. Yes. And White Crone raises a good point. Grooming also trains a child to accept the molestation as natural.
Yeah, that is a big point. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's like you can also you don't need to go to a drag show to see. I mean, of all the things, drag shows are the least sexually explicit thing out there. I mean, parents have taken.
Well, it depends on the show, but yeah.
Parents have taken their kids to Hooters for fuck's sake.
That's okay because that's straight.
Yes.
See? Yeah. Well, yeah.
Because and also reinforces the patriarchy of the women or females being objects for the male gaze.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's grooming there, but
Yes.
no
Yeah.
LGBT
Yeah.
is showing up at Hooters with like guns and saying stop grooming kids, and I don't know. I'm just
We
saying.
should. We should totally do that.
I mean,
Let's
yeah,
see.
it should. Funny enough, I'm not one of these people that like. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just think that if you're part of the LGBT community, you may need to start packing some heat. I don't know.
Oh, there are
Well,
some that do as well.
There's a lot of leftist gun clubs out there. John
Right.
Brown gun clubs and things like that.
Socialist Rifle Association. There's also like been Redneck Revolt, and maybe they're probably accepting LGBTQIA plus people as well, because like Rednecks was like it's in some cases it's still seen as a derogatory term for someone like low class essentially. But Redneck was always like a leftist like a union organizer as it were, or at least a union organizer for sure.
If there was a modern incarnation of the Black Panther Party, then hopefully it would be better than the previous one, which had some problems with sexism and homophobia.
True.
Well, isn't there's some parts of Greek mythology that I've heard have some there's some pedophilic image like
Some.
was it Ganymede like a water I don't know Ganymede the water bearer or something I don't
And there was, I mean, it wasn't really. Okay, totally gonna come off as an insult here. Not so much pedophilia as hebephilia. It was older men with teenage boys. It was a mentor relationship that was also sexual. So you see that in the Iliad with Achilles and Patroclus.
So this is the kind of relationship that like Milo Yiannopoulos was kind of like said he's for as for then again his example he think it was gross if it was like a 15-year-old or a teenager with a 30-year-old or older, but 20s that's the where he saw it fine, and yeah that's what got him to be like disowned by the far right as it were, by CPAC at least.
But, yeah, it was. I mean, nowadays we recognize that as gross, predatory, and abusive. Back then, but it wasn't, 8-year-olds.
No.
Yeah.
I don't. I just see. I thought it started with the like. I thought it started and stopped with the whole thing about the Pizzagate thing. I did not need to go this far.
No, QAnon.
It didn't start with Pizzagate, and it didn't stop there. It's always been there. Pizzagate and the groomers thing and all that. This is just another panic. They have them like every couple of years.
Yeah,
the gay panic was the thing too, as well. As well as like
panic, just everywhere, just all the time.
You were about to say something, Ellie?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember right now. So.
No, that's okay. Let's see, and yeah, the white cone brought up a good point about like a word that they overuse, like SJW, social justice warrior and anti-fascist, as it were. They become meaningless, as it were. Antifa is now just like whatever like that person doesn't like, as it were.
I've seen Hillary Clinton being called Antifa.
Yeah, what do you call it? President Joe Biden and
Kamala Harris.
Fuck you, I quit. We're on the Antifa targeting list. It's like this is just
honestly,
post
if
about
Antifa
people hating
actually
their jobs.
did take over the government, they would go after the Democrats too.
My thing with the whole Antifa thing is
no. I mean the list. List of people that were supposed to be Antifa, so they should be targeted for harassment and to be.
Here's the thing about Antifa. Good that they are people who are part of Antifa, because because you know what else? There are people who are neo-Nazis and they proclaim that they are. So if someone wants to say that they're Antifa, so.
But
I in fact am anti-fascist, as it turns out.
But it's also like I feel like people get Antifa mixed up with Black Bloc.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot. Black
Bloc is a thing that Antifa does.
Yeah. Yeah, but which is like it's a decentralized form of guards that
My
come in.
my
It's also
philo-
direct action. It's mutual aid.
Yeah.
Antifa does a lot of stuff.
my philosophy to this is stop hiding from these people. These people already don't like you. So just say, yes, I'm Antifa. You're a Nazi. Fuck you. So, we don't have to like each other. That's fine. Just be more open about it. Like, yeah, there are people who are Antifa, and
But
Well, the
then
thing is, the cops are going to go after Antifa. They're not going to go after the Nazis.
but sometimes it's more effective when you can sort of hide.
sure, okay.
Yeah,
Especially since the Nazis will also go after Antifa.
yeah, and it's like, how do I?
But you already said the cops would go after Antifa.
Yeah, I have
The
no
cops and the
people.
Nazis together.
I have a black bloc, but I'm not.
But you
gonna...
keep repeating yourself.
Not all cops are. Not all Nazis are cops.
Oh, okay, fair.
Well, that's the thing about Black Bloc. Black Bloc is specifically a tactic that's used at like protests as far as good, like Ellie said, it's decentralized guards and about protection as it were. And right, the reason why they wear all black is so that like they're not identified to like anyone else as it were.
And they cover their faces so that the cops can't come after them, so they can't be targeted for harassment by Nazis. Whereas Nazis cosplay as Trump and then get called out and cry.
Yeah.
We call them copsies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such an adorable name.
Piglets. They're piglets.
Yeah.
Pigs in a blanket, which is very good, by the way.
I do actually enjoy a good pig in a banquet too.
That's
as
why
well.
it's a staple at weddings.
Let's see, just spell cops with 2 S's.
Yeah.
And
What
also,
you did there, I see it.
Oh, no, not only 2 S's, but also like the S's, like in the shapes of lightning bolts.
Mm-hmm.
yes, exactly. and ECM, that's a good point. Even if the Colorado may be non-binary, it's still a hate crime and awful, regardless as it were. But it, like,
And I don't really believe he's non-binary. I think that's a lie.
I think
And it means nothing if it's non-binary.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like non-binary people can be right-wingers too. It sounds ridiculous, but they can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like the narrator of Fight Club. Yeah, maybe he was a repressed gay man, but he also beat the shit out of a gay man and then committed terrorism. So who gives a shit?
Did you guys know that Italy now has a female Hitler now?
I
So does
heard
England.
about.
I mean,
More
or
like-
no, they did for a week. Sorry.
More like Mussolini, I think.
Oh yeah. It's Italy because I was be like more like Mussolini, which actually there are some people that are still related to that family and still think that
she's
Mussolini
related-
did nothing wrong.
She's actually related to Mussolini.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. There you go. And the right crone is like correct that like there are some trans women that are right wingers. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner still like ran as a GOP candidate as were for like California,
And then there's whatever Kanye West has turned into.
Yeah, this just being anti-Semitic as a word.
I like to phrase that the Italian I forget what her title is. Shoot,
Prime Minister,
She's
President.
El Duce.
The Italian Prime Minister finally crystal knocked that ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah, she. Let me see. She calls herself like.
Sorry, that was bad. I'm sorry.
Thatcher
I don't
did
get
that
the
back
joke.
in '81. So
Yeah. In Italy, the sales of piano strings said like "shut up," another joke. No, okay, yeah. And actually, you're right. Sap Noise is like non-binary people are already like at least welcome in the trans community as it stands. Yes, it is.
She's a. There was a word that I saw that I never really heard before describing this person. Um, she's a femo-nationalist. I've never heard of that before.
This is the first I heard of a
Oh,
female
that's a woman
nationalist.
who identifies as fascist.
Ah, okay, that makes sense then. So, like a Lord Southern, as it were, for example. Yes,
She's
which is
British.
good.
Did you know that?
Because they've already misused the term feminazi.
Ah, yes, there you go.
Part of me, part of me finds that as strangely arousing. A female.
Okay.
And now we know what your fanfics about Avril Lavigne are all about. No wonder you like the blonde girls.
Isaiah, are you saying? Isaiah, are you saying that you're a sub and you're a bottom?
No, I'm not.
But yet you do want a woman to dominate you in a way, I guess.
In some,
Oh, goodness.
yes.
Or maybe Zaya wants to be able to beat up a Nazi. You don't know.
Wait.
Well,
You mean like in like a kink fet way? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
That was the reference, yes.
yes.
well, yeah, I mean, both good and bad. Like, I mean, for some, well, shit. This is harder than I thought it was.
That's what she said.
And that's a good point. The right code. Nothing wrong with being the bottom. Glares. I guess yeah, that's the thing. But also, I say yes, it's okay to be both. That's what the switch is called as word. They can switch from being top and bottom.
Or various.
Yes. Let's see. What else was
But
there?
now there's something I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and Geek, I hope you can share the thing. It is something that I shared a while ago on Facebook. It popped up in my stream recently. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. Okay, now I just gotta find it. God damn it. I think it's this one.
Gay marriage passed, which is a good thing, but I don't like this idea that.
Hold on. Let's make sure it's the right one. Yes, okay, good. This is the link. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in chat. And hopefully you can share it, because I just found this hilarious. It is a TikTok from a comedian. And it goes on for a while. It's going to be a couple minutes long. I don't think he'll mind us sharing it. It's 2.5 minutes.
Okay, I shared it with the live chat, so I'm also going to like see it on my end on my screen.
So are we gonna like read it? So like, are we gonna like watch it and like comment on it? Oh, we used to do.
No,
Chud.
we'll just watch and listen and laugh. It's I don't think there's going to be too much to comment on, because it's. I mean, it's full of leftist jargon. I don't know if the audience really got that, but I mean, it just sounds that way. So I mean, if you can share the screen, Geek.
Okay.
And play it. That's what I was, because I can't share screens because reasons.
Oh, right, because if you do host disabled participation of the screen sharing.
Let's
So.
see. It's sharing and sharing options, all participants. There we go.
Okay, now I'm going to share just like this particular window.
Yeah, we don't need to see your porn.
Yes, so share it. Is it working?
Yep.
All right, let's play.
You're going to want to unmute it, because I can't hear any sound.
I can't hear it either. So
So you might have to change the way you're sharing. Yeah, because it's not
What?
muted on your end. We can see that. We can't hear it.
Can I share it? Okay, sorry, it was also loud for me. Hold on, come on. Can I share it? What? Sure, Sam. Okay. All right, let's play back to the beginning. And also, like, turn it down from myself to, like, about, like, here. Sorry about that. Okay, let's try this again. And...
Gay marriage
Can you hear?
passed, which is a good thing, but I don't like
yes.
the idea that it's like this crazy progressive thing, because the government's still involved. I think progress would be getting the government out of marriage completely. Just let people love who they want, how they want, without having to go through this weird labyrinth of... Yeah. But there was no state that was talking about that except for one. You know what it was? Oklahoma. Oklahoma had a representative who proposed a total marriage ban statewide just so gay people could never get married, which is insane but hilarious, because that means Oklahoma accidentally homophobed its way into radical progressive thinking. By far the most advanced discussion on this subject, and it was driven by bigotry. I wish I were at that meeting to see what other ideas were proposed, see what other radically progressive ideas they could come up with that were fueled by hatred, you know? The guy's like, you know what we gotta do? We ban marriage altogether. That way them homos can never participate. Everyone's minds are blown, like they're rethinking everything. Another guy stands up like, you know what else we gotta do? We gotta dissolve our currency. Set up what's called a resource-based economy, establish a more egalitarian distribution of wealth. This will make the pursuit of individual wealth an unnecessary and irrelevant endeavor, which will help end the tyranny of nepotism as well as the virtual monopolies of corporations. This will slowly deprogram the state and corporate-backed propaganda that rots our minds and poisons our souls, which will restore the complexion of our cultural and individual psychology to where one's self-identity is no longer linked to the market value of his commercial function, but rather to the spontaneous actualization of his human desires. There would be no need for laws because the guiding principles of society would arise organically as the unwritten negotiations between our communal needs. This would render the very idea of a central government fundamentally absurd. It would help eradicate the farcical existence of campaign politics altogether. We would watch the traditional socio-economic hierarchy crumble as we enter into a stable, harmonious relationship with Mother Nature. And then that way, we'll never have to worry about our country being run by a bunch of goddamn Jews.
You can see why I wanted to share this, I think.
Wow.
It just kept going and going.
I was like, wow. I never heard of some of these words before, but I can understand what he means by the communist.
It's so fucking communist, and the audience is in the whole goddamn time.
And to stick it to the Jews, of course, because I always have to come back to the Jews.
Oh man. Oh.
Oh.
I gotta look at more of his stuff if he
It's Drew
what do you call
Michaels.
it?
And so one of those things is like, wait a minute, is this comedian like a radical and progressive? Who was the other comedian that like Garrett in like a old video like was talking about as well? Damn it, it's still up on like Garrett's YouTube channel. That's still up because I forgot that British comedian is where, but he was kind of like the same with like yeah. So that was a TikTok from Drew Michaels. Oh yeah, it's not
Drew
you'd be
Michael,
surprised.
there's no S on the end of it.
Hey, Drew Michael.
God damn.
Yes, the sucks of the world untied.
No,
Yeah,
I screwed
yeah,
it up first. It's not your fault.
so yeah, yeah. There's some really progressive politics there. It's like there are some right wing comedians though that still think.
Yeah, but
they're
usually the only reason they're funny is because they don't talk politics.
yes, exactly.
I think Bill
Because, I mean,
Maher definitely move more right
He's
wing.
not funny. I mean,
Yeah.
frankly, every comedian is right wing. We know what we mean by we're talking when we say right wing, we mean far right wing. Because
Yeah.
Jon Stewart is right wing.
Sure, liberal.
What's his name? Yeah. What's his name? John Oliver is right wing. He's not
Yes. Yeah.
a commie. But, we mean far right.
Is something like Dennis Miller or something like that.
Yeah. Well, Dennis Miller's not funny either. But Jeff Foxworthy.
True. Oh, okay, yeah.
It's so strange to me that far right people in America don't recognize how far right they actually are, because
Centuries of propaganda and miseducation.
yeah, it's just like in Denmark I can have a conversation with a right winger and we can agree on a lot of things. There's some things we don't agree on, but it's like there are a lot of things we do agree on, and that is just not the case with like American far right wingers, because they're like way out there in the hallway with them.
Oh, you don't think
Yeah.
I'm a person?
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh.
it's just also this Twitter Elon Musk thing. I feel is very, very, very American. It's like it doesn't really relate to the rest of the world because it's like this is just so far out, and things he supports is just like, what the fuck, dude?
Mm.
You own an international platform. You're going to scare everyone who's not an American right winger away from that platform because it's
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to be a liberal comedian, especially when you make money doing your work.
Yeah.
So because then you yeah, that's the thing with Bill Maher. Bill Maher was never really a liberal in my opinion. He's only he's like he's a liberal if like he can smoke pot and fuck black chicks. After that, yeah.
It is. Well, the thing, well, liberalism itself, that's a part of our point, is a right-wing ideology. It's just like it's only in the USA, Canada, the UK, and maybe some Western European countries, if that. The thing is like more of a centrist like position. That's where, again, like in Australia, the Liberal Party is the Conservative Party in that country.
Honestly, the Liberal Party is the Conservative Party here too, but
Right. So we just have like a fascist party.
they're
and
trying to
the-
keep things the way it is, you know.
as opposed to the
The
reactionary.
fascist reactionary party. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, you're to the left of the Republicans? Congratulations!
So is the most of the rest of the world.
Yes.
Oh, on a scale of
Wow.
-10 to +10, you're less than +10? Awesome.
Hey, you're more left. You're more left than the Republicans. So is Franco.
So is chalk, which is deeply upsetting to the Republicans because they claim everything that belongs to them is truly white.
Hey, what about Jonas Salk? What?
Chalk, not salt.
Chalk.
You met the guy with the DNA. Okay.
No, Jonas Salk cured polio.
Yeah.
You're thinking Watson and Crick was DNA.
Oh well, fuck. What
How
are the
much of a science nerd are you if you can't even know
He's
who
not a
came
science
up-
nerd. He's a Titanic and Star Trek nerd.
What are those white men that did the shit with the medicine stuff?
You mean the Tuskegee experiment?
That too. Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Hey, maybe space. I never said I was into like medicine.
Actually, oh yeah, that reminds me. That, like in world news,
Cat.
well, cats. Dude, we must have all the cats on the camera as much as possible.
Finally lured her over to the camera.
So, what's that cat's name?
This is Rumble.
Ah,
She's adorable. Naughty.
oh, I just remembered.
You know
World-
Sasha's my cat because he's kind of an asshole.
Texas Senator Ted
Oh, I remember Steve Hofstetter. Yeah, he's a good one. Sorry, that was Crone shared a link in the thing.
Yeah. Stuart Lee was the comedian I was like thinking of as a word. It was like at least
He's the
has
British
like,
guy, right?
Yeah, the British guys like trying to mention like all the maps, trying to map the world map, but there's no lines whatsoever. That would be a terrible world, would it? Or something like that. He said something radical in that sort of way too, but I don't know if he says.
I remember him making fun of Dan Brown.
Yeah.
The famous man looked at the red cup. That's the opening line of one of the Dan Brown novels.
Oh, good news. Brazil, it's like less fascist now because like Jair Bolsonaro not only lost his election to like Lula,
Oh yeah, Lula's good.
Yeah, Lula's cool. Also, what lost? So I'm glad.
Yeah.
And,
Uh,
and guess who's yelling voter fraud?
yeah.
His
Bolsonaro is where.
followers.
Yes. He also like lost like a giant like lawsuit or something like that, or has to pay like $400 million in fines, as it were, because like he took it to the courts and he's like, the courts is like, no, there's like there's nothing, no. The Joe's lured the cat over by like, yes, you can sit on me.
Yeah. And now you're not, you're legally not allowed to move anymore.
Hmm.
when
This
you
is
have
where you
sex.
die.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
No more button face. Now face it face.
And now butts to our face though. Oh, close. Uh, so what else has been happening in the news? I've not been following up on like the news.
Yeah, I've been sick, so that's my excuse.
Trump had a meeting with Nick Fuentes and Kanye West.
Not surprising.
So the meeting of the douchebags.
Yep.
Apparently, Trump went to D.C. a couple weeks back, a couple months back. I'm way behind on my podcasts. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm way behind on my podcast too. I'm back at like in September. Honestly, I had to like really catch up. Because well, the midterms did happen, and there was no red wave. The Republicans took back the Thuglicans, the fascists took back the House of Representatives just because like it probably
Took
was
back the
going to
House,
happen.
but the Dems picked up a seat in the Senate. So
Yeah.
Yep, that's something.
My boy Fetterman kicked Oz's ass.
No,
yeah,
Doctor.
yep.
We do not have Doctor Oz in the Senate. Thank God.
Or as I call him, Dr. OZ.
That's a good thing because he would have not just legalized homeopathy but mandated it.
Enough. It's like Dr. Oz. Funny of all the people who are running, Dr. Oz to me was when it comes to right-wing politicians running, all of them are shit. But Dr. Oz to me was probably the funniest because it's like this is a guy that actually sold tried to lie sold false shit when it comes to medicine. And yet, and I bet $1 million this dude does not believe in universal health care.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of his like right wing politics, as it were, fascist politics.
Does anyone know when the Georgia runoff is?
December 6th.
Okay, so like next month.
Next week.
Yeah,
Next week.
And then we got Herschel Walker, who's like, well, I think, well, see, I don't know about this, but abortion is bad because they done that, they done that, yeah, and the whoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Man, that guy's a fucking idiot. That guy's a disgrace to black manhood.
Well, just because he has severe brain damage doesn't mean that he's a bad person. The fact that he's running as a Republican means he's a bad person.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are other things about him that indicate that, but yeah.
A lot of people have bad mental shit. They don't say dumb shit like that.
Yeah.
Or am I being ableist? I'm sorry. Am I being ableist?
It's
A mixed, yeah.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, this is like a habit for a lot of people. Is that like I see this in like some liberal like a Facebook group I was in for a while. That like they would show Justin Lee Peterson as it were, and they just want to like excuse bigotry as like they must be mentally ill for some reason. I was just like, no, they can just be bigots and have terrible ideas. Mental illness is not to play a part of it because mentally people I met people who suffer from like mental illnesses where they're not bigots. Yes, and which is also why we
White crone, get out of my head.
It's also like when people talk about Elon Musk's Asperger's.
Being on the spectrum, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't.
It's like that. His behavior is not caused by his Asperger's. His
His
Behavior is caused by
mostly
being a
caused
spoiled
by-
brat.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah.
yeah,
Well, it's well the thing about that, Ellie, it's like, and
yeah.
that's pretty fucked up too, because a lot of if any autistic person in the real world acted like that, they would not be treated, they would not be given the same amount of quarter as Elon Musk has.
They would have
No.
been shot by the cops.
Absolutely not.
Yes, John could keep reminding me of that.
Yeah. It's just I actually I try not to argue with people in the comments, but right now I must say I kind of argue with people in the comments sometimes. But every time I see someone make that argument that Elon Musk acts the way he does because he's on the spectrum, I write, this is not true. This is because that's just like really bad.
I'm on the spectrum, and I never fired half of Twitter.
Yeah.
And yeah, there even some people were saying that like he's doing he's being apolitical with Twitter, or to make Twitter apolitical is like he
We brought a
reinstated
fascist
Trump.
back on. That is definitionally not on Twitter.
And at the whim of like Andy No's suggestion, a lot of like anti-fascist like accounts have been like suspended, like 500 or something like that. Crime Inc. Crime Think, which is a anti-authoritarian like news resource website. That's where I've read some of their essays on my streams before. They got suspended as it were, and so yeah, apolitical. Bring on the fascists back on the platform and take down anti-fascist like Twitter accounts. Lips of TikTok also has a blue, it's a blue check mark too. So yeah.
Oh, Libs of TikTok isn't great.
Yeah.
I can't remember who took down. Maybe it was James Summert. No, it wasn't James Summert. I'm trying to remember. Well, somebody a month ago on YouTube asked, who are the biggest liberal accounts, and then went through and demonstrated how they're kind of shit and not at all left.
Renegade Cut did a
yes, that's the one.
What do you call it? The liberals on Twitter
Yeah,
liberals or something.
Yeah, Twitter liberals.
Democratic Twitter. I forget
Democratic
exactly
Twitter. Yeah. This Renegade Cut is still good, even though he's like very dry in his delivery and that sort of thing. But I still like Renegade Cut. Say Georgia P, you just made it.
Yay!
Yay!
Still have half an hour, 20 minutes left.
Yeah, Democratic.
Have you guys go ahead? I'm sorry.
Just like a Democratic Twitter. That's the Renegade Cut video. I'll place it into the chat right now. Go ahead, Isaiah.
No, I was saying, have you guys seen my one of my new shirts over here that I got for my birthday?
We can
No,
barely
I
see
haven't.
it
Go
in the
ahead and show
background.
us. Yeah, go ahead and show it off.
Mostly just washed out by the light.
Oh,
Oh, I still haven't seen that show at all.
Cam and Shigo, the sexual tension. You could cut it with a knife.
Oh, you always have to bring that. I'm bringing a Leah shirt. I got this too for my birthday.
Nice. I do like the graphics on that shirt.
She's
Yeah,
the
it's
vampire
nice.
queen, I think.
Oh yeah.
She's the one that died in a plane crash, Aaliyah.
I think so. Yeah, I do remember that. I think. Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yep, she died in the Bahamas in 2001.
Yeah, that was a tragedy because she died very young.
Then you got Left Eye. So anyone never like TLC Left Eye?
Yeah, I remember Left Eye. Yeah.
And she died like a couple like the next couple. Was it the next year after that? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah, because like
I was
TLC
alive
was
then,
like
but I wasn't paying attention to that shit.
TLC was like big in the mid '90s with like Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls and like I Don't Want No Scrubs and it's like, but then
That one I
like
remember.
yes.
but
Do you want to hear the sea shanty version of that song?
Yeah, it works. Yeah, yes.
Oh, ye don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Sitting on his passenger side with his best friend high, trying to holler at me.
There's
It
a lot of
sounds
things.
exactly the same.
Yes, there's a lot of things you can fit into shanties. Again, honestly, if you know the words to Amazing Grace, sing it to the tune of Gilligan's Island, and they match perfectly.
Yeah, it's the thing about 4/4 time. It just keeps on being 4/4 time.
Yes, exactly. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound of save the rest like me. Was lost, but now it's found. Was blind, but now but sees. Was blind, but now but sees.
Do you know what a good
Yeah, I
sea
definitely deleted my Twitter account. As soon as I learned that Musk had been forched to buy it, I deleted it and left.
You want to know what the
Oh, you should have just sat on your name.
you know what the best
Just locked it out.
No one's going to steal Sir Goshen.
I suppose.
I'm
Oh,
I'm very conflicted. On one hand, if I get banned from my personal Twitter, I don't care. My cat Twitter is a bit different because I still think it still kind of forms a function, but I don't like being on Twitter anymore because of just everything's just so blah. But
I
it's
just
hard.
really hope it all drags everything Elon Musk has ever done down into the mud. Renders him bankrupt,
and that-
destroys
and-
all of his bullshit.
And not just him. I hope it what do you call it? Helps disprove the what's the word?
Great man theory
Meaning
of history.
people. No, not that one, but something similar to that.
Technocracy?
No, god damn it! Why can't I think of this word?
Meritocracy.
It means meritocracy. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
meritocracy of billionaires would just be the whole.
I hope it
you know, like-
destroys Twitter. I hope it destroys Tesla.
Billionaires
I kinda
create
hope it destroys
jobs!
SpaceX.
I hope Elon Musk becomes a millionaire one of these days.
Just a millionaire, not billionaire. Yes, I see.
Yeah.
would you guys rather me take over SpaceX if whenever Elon gets out the picture and I just run it like, you know?
If you create,
If you promise to let the workers unionize.
Yes, yes,
and,
yes, I
and
will.
turn it into
or-
Starfleet.
I would say, or just give the power to the workers.
Yeah.
Maybe just administrate it. Don't actually run it.
Yeah.
How about I do it like I did, like instead of Elon who just pretends he's smart. How about what I do as the CEO is I just constantly stay in my room and just develop new spacecraft technology, and then I come show the workers my idea. Then I ask for worker input.
Yeah. I just saw this on Twitter. So C-Tracks has a screenshot of someone that says like, if Apple and Google boots Twitter from the app stores, well, that'll be a big hit to like that. That'll be a big loss to Twitter for sure, absolutely. Then Elon Musk should like produce his own smartphone. Half the countries like would be happy to ditch their bias. Apple as bias, snooty iPad, iPhone, and Android. The man built rockets to Mars. A silly little smartphone should be easy, right? And it's like, no, C-Tracks reminded, it says, see, Elon Musk still have not fired a single rocket to Mars at all.
Yeah,
So-
I don't believe Elon's going to get us to Mars. I don't think he takes it seriously. I think he doesn't
I
like.
think he takes it seriously. I just think he's a moron.
I mean, like Jeff Bezos managed to like get it up to space in his penis-shaped ship, or at least, okay, yeah, definitely a lot of criticisms you have about Jeff Bezos as well. Especially, it's just like, okay, it's one thing to like not be.
He stays out of the way of his workers, unlike
Yeah.
Musk.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, he still doesn't let his workers.
Well, I mean,
unionize,
out of the way in the context of
building
he still
rockets.
doesn't let them unionize.
True.
but
He lets them do their jobs
he doesn't
exactly.
micromanage.
and takes all the money.
Yes, yes, he is. He thanked all his workers after this like a space flight too. It's just like, oh god. But like, okay, Jeff Bezos. It's one thing to not be a fan of music. Just say that I don't like music. It's another thing to just like memorize the like radio stations of the local area and say, oh, I listen to KISW or something like that. When people ask what kind of music do you listen to, just tell the truth. You
I like
don't
2
like
Corinthians.
Oh my god. Is there ever a better way to tell on yourself of not even knowing the proper format of saying those things?
I mean, in languages other than English, they call it 2 Corinthians, but
if Musk ever made a smartphone, it would catch fire before it left the assembly line.
and
Yeah.
and somehow hit someone.
Yeah.
Is but yeah, it's like no, that is possible. I seen with like I forgot what kind of phone it is. Well, like that lithium-ion batteries. If you somehow crack that seal, it's a word they could catch on fire. I actually seen that happen. So it's just like that's funny, but yeah, it's also possible.
What are your thoughts on Neil deGrasse Tyson, everybody?
I
He's
like
okay.
him.
Needs to stay in his lane sometimes.
Yeah, that I agree with as well. He can be hyper focused and obsessed about something else. That like in the movie Titanic, he thinks of like he was complaining about like the night sky. It's the wrong night sky because we know where the Titanic is saying. We know what time of year it was. We know what date it is. We know what the night sky looked like. That is not the night sky that was up there on that movie. To which and hello, Lilith, welcome on and joining us as we're. But then he also brought it up to James Cameron, and he's like. Well, I guess the movie would not have made $1 billion if it would have made $1 billion more if it had the correct night sky in it.
I mean,
And
the
so
thing
the-
is, an astronomer complaining about getting the night sky wrong when it's really fucking easy to get it right. I mean, that makes sense.
Which
And,
they
you know, a
corrected
lot
that
of
on
the things he
DVD.
talks about in science stuff. That's great.
He also platformed Ben
Sometimes he needs to
Shapiro.
shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the worst tendencies of a well-actual guy.
Yeah.
He's
There's
not as bad as
also-
Dawkins, though.
No, yeah, Dawkins is much worse.
I used to like Dawkins, but this was when I was going through my my angry atheist phase. So, but
I like Sam Harris when I was in that phase too, or at least I liked some of the things they said. I've seen the YouTube clips. Never followed Sam Harris.
eventually I just started like, oh, I don't need this guy anymore.
Yeah, so that's how I felt about like most of the atheists were.
I wore out on Sam Harris a lot earlier than
David Silverman is just
David Silverman, just like oh god,
He
Sam
is-
harassed women.
yeah,
He's a
this-
sex pest. No, he didn't just harass.
Yes.
He assaulted someone.
No,
No. I know. I was making a Sam Harris joke based on his name, pronouncing it harass instead of Harris.
Yes. So like, yeah, exactly. And Amazon, and Microsoft both failed like phones. Actually, people like the Windows Phone when it was, but it just wasn't successful at all because like with a lot of things that Microsoft does, when they're late to the party, like their own MP3 player, the Zune. I like my Zune, but it just did not get any market hold whatsoever. And so it's just like, but like also Neil deGrasse Tyson is that like there is he has some allegations against him for sexual misconduct. That's the word. So it's just like allegedly that happens. I will say that those words at least
Yeah, but,
3.
Unlike most other allegations, you didn't get follow up with other people saying, "Yeah, he did that to me too."
Yeah,
because usually it's not an isolated incident; it's a pattern of misbehavior.
Yeah.
And with him, it was just the one, as far as I can recall, and
Yeah.
it didn't really amount to much.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, there was the whole Mount Dale hunting and the whole ACA crew.
not the whole ACA crew, the ACA crew that stuck around.
Yes, the ACA crew that stuck around after the Matt Dillahunty was saying, "No, this rationality rules, guys. No, he's cool. I'm cool with it." And that's like no, this very obvious transphobia that like rationality rules like said is like, and even in his Wall Street video was still like just not great. That's the word. And yet he saw himself as like the next like the. Oh no! The Italian guy who got like in trouble with the Catholic Church. Ah, damn it! Name escapes me. Galileo. Yes, thank you.
I was trying to think of
Galileo.
something recent, modern. I was like,
Galileo.
Figaro.
Yeah.
What's been currently talked about? Well, a lot of different things. So should we go through a lot of different topics? If you're like,
We just
familiar
talk
with
about
me-
whatever's on our mind. We have no agenda. This is just friends chatting.
Did
Yeah.
anyone else see the Adam Conover video about Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Zuckerberg and the FTX guy.
No, I saw that, but like I haven't I saw it up in my YouTube.
It's pretty good. It's not that long. It's worth it. It's worth a watch.
I have just pulled it up, and I will share the link in the chat. Adam Conover is the Adam ruins everything guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do like his stuff as well because, like, now I think he could possibly figure out that like his capitalism is a fault, but it's just like I'm not quite sure if he's there yet. But like, other than that, like, no, I think his like, well, he does his research, and so
I would say I feel like a lot of his stuff is capitalism is a problem, as opposed to capitalism is the problem.
Yes.
Well, I
Yeah,
believe
there's a lot of people out there who butt up against the contradictions inherent in capitalism, and they realize it's a problem, and they don't quite go communist. So,
Maybe because they're just not sure if like communism is a viable thing, or never even thought deeply into it as well.
well, I mean, we don't
again,
know.
decades of propaganda.
True.
Yeah, it's like that's a place where I can definitely understand people being stuck at.
Yeah.
Like it's a rough. I know I had a rough transit between those 2 points.
I mean,
I
I
will
had a
say-
great Thanksgiving. Then I had to sit and listen to my dad talk about how awesome Churchill is, and I was like, should I mention the Bengal famine?
I would.
So I
It's
mean,
like, is
you
it
get this
worth
stuff at
it?
home, you get it at school, you get it through the news. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
hard. I mean, just 5 years ago, I wasn't there yet.
It's 5 years ago. I wasn't there yet either. I was just like didn't know what my political ideology it was. I was just like liberal, milquetoast, and then vaguely
I was a
leftist.
liberal progressive, and then I was like, you know what? Everything sucks, and they want us to die.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, communism.
This. You know, all these feminists I've listened to are like socialists and like and anarchists, and it's like, what's the sort of thing? It's like, oh, so that's what the anarchists like have against the state.
Apparently not this woman from Italy. She's not. Oh,
She's a fucking fascist, yeah. Wyleth,
we are.
being anti-capitalist is a good place to start as far as I'm concerned. There
Yeah,
are
yeah,
so
exactly.
many different kinds of communism. Don't worry about whether or not you
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
There's a flavor of communism for you.
We get a whole rainbow.
I became first I became like socialist after 9/11.
You're European. You were born socialist. Come on.
No, not really. I was a I know it's different for me, but I was a liberal and a bit to the right of liberal because that's where my parents are on the political spectrum. But then I sort of saw it was the imperialism for me that bothered me with the whole Iraqi war and
Yeah.
what happened
We got a
afterwards.
coalition.
Yeah, it just bothered me, and then I got into other things that also sort of, and the racism always kind of bothered me. Yeah.
Yeah, you made the cartoons that hurt the Muslims.
Yeah, that was that's the point I was the least proud of my country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just like now I have to be associated with that crap, and it's just like
Yeah.
You should be more upset about being associated with, Danish cooking, but
what's wrong? Have you had?
I've never had Danish cooking. I'm just assuming it's mostly fried fish.
No, it's
That's
it's,
Sweden anyway.
Yeah,
It's also fried pastries.
yeah.
Like Danish.
Actually, no. The
That
only
was-
thing I
that was
really
the
know
joke.
about Denmark is you have mirrors outside your houses so that you can watch people walk down the street. Although that might just be Copenhagen.
You guys also own grain.
The hell.
That's also a thing not to be proud of, but
Yeah. Yes, we can buy it off of you, baby.
or we should let the people who live there decide.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Or we
what
could buy it off you, like Trump suggested.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we the USA should do for like Samoa, Guam,
Puerto Rico, Cuba.
Puerto Rico, Cuba. Cuba, we just embargoed.
Cuba's we just blockade, we embargo, we
Yeah.
put
Hawaii.
sanctions on.
Hawaii, definitely Hawaii. That was a big
Alaska.
one. Alaska, yeah.
I don't
Well,
I don't know if Alaska actually wants. I
No,
mean, we
they're
should do what
Republican.
they want.
really,
but-
really want to be. Well, I mean, they're ExxonMobil Republican.
Yeah.
well,
no,
Alaska's
I don't mean the people that work at the work for the fuel industry. I mean the people that lived there
The Inuit.
before the fuel industry got there.
Yeah,
There it is,
yeah,
the
yeah.
Inuit, yeah.
Yeah, well, plan back across the board anyway, decolonialized anyway. Hey, the Dumawash is still trying to be like recognized as a federally recognized like indigenous tribe, and yet again, Seattle is named after their chief. So, yeah.
Yeah, coal plants are responsible for dangerous radioactive waste. The coal ash is full of radioactive salts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But actually, in my country, imperialism actually cost the right wingers the last election because our system is that people from Greenland and from the Faroe Islands get votes in our grand election, and they get to decide seats. So people in the Faroe Island voted for the Socialist Party, the biggest Socialist Party, and so there was almost like a right wing majority, and then things just kind of backfired on them, and that was pretty great.
So I bet some of the right wing in Denmark right now are saying we should not own these places. They should be their own sovereign nations, as it were.
Yes, exactly. That was what happened. But it's also like our right wing in Denmark is 7 separate parties, which also doesn't really help their own case because none of them can really get majority.
I wonder why we have elections. Why not just choose the National Assembly or Congress or whatever from the population at random?
Yeah.
Because, well, why would we do that if people
Because then the elite couldn't run things.
if
Sure.
people actually that could help them? That could be bad.
But I'm usually very happy that we have so many parties in my country, but it's a bit too far now. In the last election, we had 12 parties running, and that's a lot and difficult when you have to decide who gets the power because none of them are really big enough to sort of get majority.
Wait. Since there's 12 parties and none of them are big enough to hold the majority, maybe do like a timeshare government thing where one. It's perfect with the amount of parties.
Okay,
Yeah.
the right crone. Yeah, go ahead. And we're about to like end the
Give
show
the one
as
at the
well.
least popularity February.
Yeah, each part. It says the 12 of them. Each party gets a month. Yeah, but don't worry, right? The right crowd. Thank you for coming in and like joining us as well. Because like we try to like keep these like streams to be like 90 minutes as it were. Yeah, we used to just go on until we stopped talking, which may be like 2 hours or 3 hours, depends on like if one of us needs to poop or like if we're hungry or something like that. But now we're keeping it to like 90 minutes.
I was always the one who needed to poop. Let's be honest.
But like thank you, Joe and Ellie, for like joining us on the Makeup Patreon show, as it were.
Holy shit, Mithril! That's
The
oof. Methyl isocyanate is a nasty compound.
Yeah, and I gotta like wash some dishes in the kitchen because my roommate sucks. So I gotta start doing that myself.
Yeah, I kind of am that sucky roommate because I don't watch this.
And I need to recharge my headphones for my D&D podcast. So
yes. So
And
okay.
I'm gonna go out.
well, I gotta say, Geek, for some reason right now, maybe it's the buffering or what have you, but The buffering making your video quality a little bit lower, and then your color scheme, you just look like something right out of the 80s right now.
Yes, I see it on the stream right now.
Yeah, you are you're the
Synthwave.
communist guy calling in in the 80s.
This is how we're going to bring about the like socialist revolution now. So I got like put Isaiah Taylor has his Instagram. You can check out like all the cool things. Again, Isaiah Taylor, you should really put the like photos of your handmade X-wing model, which is like not a kit. You made that out of paper and like straws and like toilet paper rolls and like plastics, as it were.
I got to dust it off first and do that. But yeah, I'll do that today sometime.
Yeah, do that. Post that on the Instagram, because everyone on Steve Shy's Patreon show was really impressed by that, because like when they hear that you made it by hand, like his paper and stuff, like everyone was really impressed. So like, but also Isaiah Taylor is Sinister Intelligence on YouTube, and Isaiah Taylor also has a second YouTube channel, the Autistic Modeling Society.
Yes.
Yeah, some random Castro. Yes, I do look like Fidel Castro because of the beard and the hat. Is the beard as well, but the hat. This is where
your hat needs a star.
White Castro.
Yes.
White Castro.
Is I did it had this hat on when I was wearing the my trans hoodie too, and it was just like trans.
Is that
Castro?
why the Seattle Astros?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Geek, since you live in Seattle, do you think if Florida wanted to make grunge music, do you think Florida could do it? And if
Florida is nothing but grunge. I've
They
lived
could,
there.
yeah. I mean, hey, Isaiah, Stone Temple Pilots, they were from San Francisco. They were considered to be the best band from Seattle, not from Seattle.
Okay.
It's a grunge.
Same with Alanis Morissette.
Not true, and she's Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Which basically Canada is just a suburb of Seattle.
Yeah, Vancouver and
Parts
Seattle.
of it.
Yeah, Seattle, Vancouver, BC, Vancouver, British Columbia is pretty much like Seattle as it were. And there's a Vancouver, Washington, which is south of Seattle, next to the border to Portland, which is also Seattle. Or Portland and Seattle are the same thing. Yeah, pretty much.
It's a megalopolis.
Yes.
Yes.
Toronto is a suburb of Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
or is Detroit a suburb of Toronto? I can't.
It depends how you look at it.
We're
mean-
American, they're Canadian, we're bigger than they are.
Before the collapse of the auto industry, I would say that Toronto was a suburb of Detroit. However, now there's a
Detroit
good
is a
argument
slum
for the
of
other way
Toronto.
around.
Detroit is the slums of Toronto.
Okay, and Joe, you probably don't have anything to promote.
No, not really.
And
With a cat.
Ellie,
Yeah,
El-
I have, instead of promoting my Twitter, because I don't know how much longer I will be on Twitter, honestly. But I have my cat's Instagram,
okay.
but it's a bit tricky. I don't know if my username on there is my cat's name, Luna, and then my last name, which is really hard to say in
Agaricus.
English.
Well, you could post it in the thing.
Yeah. So.
Okay, no, I did find it. I think I am following you.
Yeah.
Instagram, Luna _Gregan. I tried.
Yeah. You can't say it in English, really. So.
That's fair enough. That's what. It's just like the
Well, we
Dutch
can,
name
but
for.
we can say it wrong.
Yes. It's just like this.
It's
like
the
ghost-
English way.
Yeah.
It's like there's a ghost type in like Phasmophobia that's like it's called a Diohead, but like how to pronounce it Dutch is like really difficult, and like the Dutch people say if you pronounce it as Diohead, then we'll know what you're talking about. This word.
Yeah.
And like thank you contacts Reg for like the fluid voice. It's the fluid voice of last fluid voice of the year tonight. So the fluid voice is going to take on a hiatus after like the show tonight, which is at 8 p.m. Central Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, I swear. So check out the fluid voice if you're not. Yeah, Summer Geek on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. I probably will Twitch stream later on after the show. I don't know what it'll come like do. Isaiah, you look like you had your hand up as it were. Is there anything you want to mention?
No, I don't think I have anything else to add.
Okay, yeah. So because I already plugged your Instagram, your 2 YouTube channels as well. Don't forget charitylinks.com .page actually. Charitylinks.page. Don't forget to give money to like Joanna Robbins or Phoenix. Their links are in the charitylinks.page and down below. And John Buckwood, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Yes, Dungeons and Debacles. And our dungeon master listened to our complaints. We're no longer going to be genocidal cops. He went back and he listened to all the old podcasts, and then we're rewinding to the point where we started doing a genocide, and we're starting over.
Wait, you were doing a genocide?
Well, there were the bad guys were spreading a hate plague, so we were just going around slaughtering civilians to stop the spread of the hate plague, and we were all really unhappy about it.
That's not great.
Yeah, cops killing civilians, especially when those civilians are drow, black people. Yeah.
I helped subvert a bit of that by making the Drow in my campaign the most powerful faction, and also, what do you call it? They're kind of Nazis.
Well, I mean, they were already Nazis, but they were feminazis. I mean, like, officially.
Yeah, Gary Gygax. Oh God.
I don't know how much he had to do with that, though.
Probably not that adaptive, but he had terrible politics as well.
Almost certainly. I mean, he started D&D by playing war games, meaning he loved the military.
War. Yeah, exactly. At least Warhammer was like supposed to be subversion of like naturalism, as were the people that like were fans of Warhammer's things. Like, no, you're not supposed to like idolize these fascists. No. Anyway.
Yeah, it says something a lot about the Warhammer community that the closest things to a bad, or the closest thing in the Warhammer universe to a good guy is the most hated faction.
Yeah.
Would that be the worst?
No, the Tau. Or
I don't know who those are. I don't know. I know nothing about the Warhammer or Warhammer 40k universe or anything about that.
Essentially,
Caiaphas Cain, hero of the Imperium.
Essentially, they're space communists, but the only problem is they're what do you call it? They are the conquering
Stalinists.
Sort of.
Stalinists, yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
With that, we will go ahead and say goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye bye, everyone.
I'm gonna go back to running my my fem nationalist slasher fiction now.